So, a film we haven't actually talked about yet. Now, we saw this on Tuesday,
Yes, we did.
and we just went our separate ways and haven't had a chance to talk about it properly because we're all busy people. So, this is Kill Your Friends.
Kill Your Friends, directed by Owen Harris, who did episodes of Black Mirror and Misfits.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure which, but he seems like a very competent director.
The Black Mirror episode was the national anthem with the pig.
Oh, so
Yeah.
there you go.
Classic.
So there you go, satire.
Satire, there you go, very good. But basically this is based on the book of the same name from 2008. The script is written by the same author of the book from the 2008 novel, John Niven, and basically it's following a man in London in 1997 where the British music industry is on a winning streak. You know, you've got people like Blur, The Verve, Britpop, yeah, you know,
yeah.
ruling the airwaves, and Cool Britannia, I think that was what it was called,
Yeah.
in full swing. But it's 27-year-old A&R man Stephen Stelfox, played by Nicholas Hoult, who looks even more frightening than he did in Mad Max.
Yeah.
Which is even stranger than
He grew up.
Yeah, he really grew up. But yeah, he looks a lot older now, and he's basically a hotshot in the music business where you take your chances, and it's greed and deception and lies and just backstabbing.
He's very, very cynical.
He's very cynical, but he's also on top of his game, and that makes him successful in that world of fueled by greed, ambition, and stupid amounts of drugs as well. Basically constantly searching for his hit record, and has to. So it's an insight into the music industry in a way that you've never seen before. Essentially,
based on John Niven's actual experience as an A&R rep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's anything like what the film has showed, then wow, this is nasty. Really, really nasty. I mean, you know, I might as well just come out and say that I was really entertained by
Right.
it.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I was consistently entertained, and there were some parts that I really, really liked.
Mm-hmm.
But then I came out of it and I realised just how on the nose it was in a lot of its sort of qualities. I mean, the satire is about as deep as, I don't know what's the best way to put it. It's about deep as a sheet of black ice. Like, there is absolutely no depth to it.
Okay.
There's nothing to go for it. It's just really, really lackluster. But
It was well wide of the mark.
yeah, but
I didn't see this. I didn't really see the satirical side. Satire should be about sort of substitution, and there wasn't that. It was kind of all just on front.
yeah,
The fact it's called "Kill Your Friends," you kind of expect it to be a bit more like American Psycho. This is what the film's being compared a lot to American Psycho, which I've still not seen. But I'm going to watch it tonight actually. Yeah, obviously, it's too literal. It literally is too literal, and the film doesn't actually have any sort of satirical elements. It's all just very frontal.
yeah.
It's very Wolf of Wall Street. It's got that knowing. It's got that knowing sort of wink. They got the excess. I mean, he's claimed that the script's going back to like 2010, before House of Cards, before Wolf of Wall Street, where it had that sort of knowing little wink to the camera. But surely, if you've seen those and then you've filmed it and then you go, it just doesn't work.
I feel bad at myself for liking it, because I did like those turns to the camera. I did like the sort of knowing
It
judges,
worked
and even though the
sometimes.
satire was quite poor in times, obviously that Karma Police scene, which was on the nose as hell, but I did enjoy it at the time. That's the thing, because it is just constant entertainment and just incredibly vain, completely morally bent people that you just really hate, and just you're so involved in the depravity of what's going on that you're just constantly enamored with it. But
It's probably the most I've rolled my eyes during a film in quite a while.
yeah, but I mean, it's just horrible people doing horrible things to horrible other people. That's about as good as it gets, really. It's just, if the music industry is anything like that in real life, then good grief.
And there's no reprieve. That's the thing.
No.
There's no comeuppance.
But I mean,
Essentially,
and I do like the cast. I think Nicholas Hoult's absolutely fantastic, and his role, I think.
as Smart Price Harvey Belfort.
Oh, I don't know. I think he's really good. He's got the stare. He's intimidating. I think Georgia King was great as Becca. I like the guy off Being Human. What's his face? Craig Roberts as Darren.
No, but yeah.
But
he's in
I
Being
just
Human as well.
then even Tom Riley as the rival that Nicholas Hoult has. I just like the people who are involved, and obviously the satire is incredibly on the nose, and you know, it's obvious and really, really first grade. I guess that's the best to put it. Like
Just cheap.
yeah,
just
really
cheap and
yeah.
nasty
But
British.
it was entertaining, and it has a great soundtrack, and it was just
Joe.
it exists.
That was
as
a hell of a groan.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's just it doesn't have a lot of subtlety, does it?
No.
Nah, but it's just
Do you get it? Because the music industry's bad.
yeah, I get, which is not bad if the message is kind of like, you know, if it works. But
Snuck in.
It's I think Kermode said that's something that we already know,
Yeah.
which we
And
do.
What Kermode said, like, you know, satire is about something you love, and
Yeah.
this is something that he hated. He wrote this book because he hated his job and he hated his life in the A&R industry.
Mm.
so he wrote about it, and that's why the satire doesn't work, because it's so literal. It's a diary.
Mhm.
He's just changed a few names, I'm assuming, and that's what it's come to.
Yeah, I mean, Nicholas Holt's character, obviously, he's very foul-mouthed as well, and he does like say a lot of horrible stuff about people, and one or two of them work.
There's some good singers,
some good singers, but
and some are just like swearing for swearing's sake.
Yeah, there's too many, and a lot of them don't work. There's that, and well, yeah. I mean, I don't mind that he didn't get his comeuppance, but okay, just meh. It's very nihilistic.
It kind of picked up at the end for me. I sort of did and didn't expect what happened to happen, and it was kind of like, eh. And I agree. I was sort of entertained by it for the whole thing, but then also felt really sort of cheap and degraded.
So the ending was a bit of like meh, because obviously what's the guy at Submarine? What's his
Craig
name?
Roberts.
Craig Roberts. Yeah, it's kind of hinting. At
Yeah, for the whole thing.
But that's just like why. I don't get why he did that.
It definitely feels sort of pseudo-intellectual in that fact, like people who like it's so on the surface, like all of its cards are on the table. You can sense exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
But when I was watching it, I was entertained, and
I expected.
I just but in a different way.
Yeah,
you know,
Like, I think we'll talk a bit more about this on the podcast.
I think it's a solid sort of 3 out of 5 film for me.
Yeah,
I would see it.
NME called it the best soundtrack since Trainspotting.
I wouldn't argue if you think in terms of like.
I mean, we've already said Karma Police.
Yeah.
That's far too obvious for me. That's like to have a scene
It's a hell of a
about
song, though.
karma and comeuppance. To have Karma Police playing is just too obvious for me. It is a mostly good soundtrack. You got a bit of Blur in there, some modern stuff as well. Royal Blood.